The auction hall buzzed with nervous energy as beings from across the galaxy gathered on Station Omega 7. Traders, collectors, and slavers filled the chrome seats, their various appendages fidgeting with credit chips and neural interfaces. At the center of the amphitheater, a reinforced containment field hummed ominously, casting blue shadows across the crowd. James Chen adjusted his worn leather jacket and checked his credit balance one more time. The human trader had saved every unit for 3 years, working the dangerous shipping routes between the Outer Rim and Core worlds. He wasn't here for profit like the others. He had a different motivation entirely. Next item, announced B. Vorthan, the auctioneer, his 6 eyes gleaming with practiced greed. Lot 847, a Cregari warrior princess captured during the siege of Blood Moon Colony. Age approximately 22 standard years. Combat rating, Omega class. Warning. Subject has eliminated 17 previous owners. A collective shiver ran through the audience. Even the most hardened slavers leaned back in their seats. The Cregari were legendary berserkers, genetically engineered for warfare by an extinct civilization. Their rage was said to be so pure, so absolute, that they could tear through starship hulls with their bare hands. The containment field flickered, revealing the prize within. She stood 7 feet tall, her azure skin marked with intricate battle scars that told stories of countless conflicts. Her silver hair fell in braids adorned with small bones, trophies from fallen enemies. But it was her eyes that made the crowd collectively hold its breath. Twin pools of molten gold that burned with barely contained fury. Liza, the Berserker princess of the Cregari clans, had not spoken since her capture 6 months ago. She simply stood there, radiating an aura of violence that made seasoned warriors question their life choices. Bidding starts at 50,000 credits, the auctioneer announced, his voice slightly strained. Silence stretched across the hall like a funeral shroud. Minutes passed. Someone coughed nervously. A Zeleny merchant whispered to his companion about the insurance costs alone. Perhaps we should move to the next, the auctioneer began. 50,000, James called out, his voice cutting through the silence like a plasma blade. Every head in the amphitheater turned toward the lone human. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. What was a single human thinking? Didn't he know that? Cregari could smell fear from 3 systems away. They viewed anything smaller than themselves as either prey or an insult. Within the containment field, Liza's golden eyes fixed on James with the intensity of a targeting computer. For the first time since her capture, she showed interest in her surroundings. 50,000, going once? The auctioneer said quickly, clearly wanting to finish this transaction before the human came to his senses. Going twice. No counter bids came. The other bidders seemed frozen, watching this apparent act of suicide with morbid fascination. Sold to the human. The transaction completed with unusual speed. Credits transferred, ownership documents signed, and the containment field deactivated. The crowd began to evacuate hastily, not wanting to witness the inevitable bloodbath. James approached slowly, his hands visible and empty. Liza towered over him, her massive frame casting him in shadow. This close, he could see the intelligence burning behind her rage. This wasn't just a mindless berserker, but a brilliant tactical mind driven to fury by circumstance. I'm James, he said quietly, making no threatening moves. I know you're Liza, princess of the Third War Host, daughter of Warlord Craig's the Bloodrender. Her eyes narrowed. It had been months since anyone had used her true name, rather than just calling her the Berserker or the Weapon. I bought you, James continued. Not to own you, but to free you. Liza's growl could have shattered steel. Free. Her voice was like grinding stone, rusty from disuse. No one frees a Cregari. We take our freedom in blood and bone. James reached slowly into his jacket and pulled out a datapad. Your home world of Creheim has been located. The shipping route is dangerous. Pirate-infested nebulae, hostile alien territory, and at least 3 systems controlled by the hegemony. No sane captain would take the job. He held out the datapad. Good thing I'm not entirely sane. Liza stared at the device, then back at James. Why? Because 3 years ago, Cregari warriors saved my sister's colony ship when pirates attacked. They asked for nothing in return. Said it was warriors' honor to protect the innocent. My sister, May, described how they fought like legends, taking wounds that should have killed them just to buy time for civilians to escape. James' voice grew stronger. The galaxy sees you as monsters because that's all they want to see. They don't understand that honor and fury can exist in the same heart. But I do. For a long moment, neither spoke. The auction hall had emptied, except for them and the increasingly nervous station security. Finally, Liza reached out and took the datapad. Her massive hand could have crushed James' skull-like paper, but she handled the device with surprising delicacy. The ship is called the Starbound Phoenix, James continued. She's fast, well-armed, and I've been upgrading her specifically for this rescue mission. If you'll have me as your pilot, Princess, we can be home in 2 weeks. Liza looked at this small human who had just spent his life savings to free her, who spoke of honor and home with the same reverence her people reserved for battle songs. Slowly, deliberately, she extended her hand, not as a threat, but as an equal offering alliance. James of the Phoenix clan, she said formally, you have shown courage worthy of a Cregari warrior. I would be honored to call you battle brother. As they shook hands, James smiled. Welcome aboard, Princess. Let's go home. The station security chief later reported that he had never seen a more terrifying sight than a Berserker princess smiling. But James knew better. He had seen hope kindle in those golden eyes, and that was the most beautiful thing in the galaxy.